What is up, everyone? Cody Dean here from the Creation of a Millionaire podcast. This is my journey to creating $1 million in my life. Now, this life is not all about making money, but money helps us make a difference in this world, okay? And that's why we're going after this money, right, in the first place, okay? So I'm going to share what I did this week, things that I've gone over, things that have happened, and really just going to go for it, right? One of the first quotes that have happened this week that I want to focus on is, don't look for opportunity in the distance, but recognize it and embrace it right where you are. Guess who said that? That was Napoleon Hill. He said that. Now, this kind of goes back to my own thinking of creating and creation and how you need to take 100% responsibility for your life. And when I got started, really like taking control of my life in 2014, I was doing sales, right? And I didn't take control of my life up to that point. I feel like I was a hard worker and I was mostly molded by the environment that I was in. Right? This is why environment is so important. Like the environment that you get put in is the environment is what will create you. Right? You are subconsciously creating your life based on the rules and the laws and the guidelines of what's happened to you and where you're at in your life, right? So have you ever seen The Truman Show? Have you ever seen The Truman Show, right? If you haven't seen The Truman Show, it's a funny show. It's about this man. He is the main actor in this TV show, and he doesn't even know that he is the main actor in the lead role in this TV show. And the whole show is based around this community that has been put together to watch this guy grow up. So everyone has cameras on him, and he doesn't even know. Right? He's growing up. He's riding his bike. He's a kid. He's growing up, and he's like in his 30s. And he starts being aware of all the things that are around him. He's like, wait a second. My girlfriend goes home all the time, and I never see her in this time of day. And this person, they walk around my block every single 10 minutes. And then this person follows them. And he starts recognizing things. He starts seeing things. And he realizes, you know what, like, I think something is up here. And so there's all these people that are in his life that he starts to talk to. And then anyway, it's a good show. I really like it. Go and watch it. And basically that's kind of like where I was, like, and you may be in the same situation. Like, you are a product of your environment. And it's not like I wasn't working hard. It wasn't like I didn't want to do stuff with my life. It wasn't like I didn't have goals, but I remember all of my goals and all of the things, all my desires, they were based off of other people's desires for me, right? It was based off of my environment, right? Like what my parents wanted and what my religion wanted and what anyway, my circle of influences, they were so influential to me. I was just going through the motions. I was just going to school. I played soccer. Like, my parents put me in soccer, and I played soccer because that's just what I did, right? And like, I was just living life just because that's my life. And it was great. I had a great childhood, and amazing things happened, right? I'm not saying my childhood was a wreck, but there's a point in my life, it was in 2014, I started doing door-to-door sales, and I started being conscious. I started raising the level of my awareness. And this is why I'm so big on building your awareness as the first step of creation, okay? Awareness, visualization, action, and creation. Those are the steps of creation that I've found out over this series of the last 6-7 years now. Anyway, so I started building my awareness. I started realizing, like, hey, you know what? I can break this mold. I can break the environment. You know, like, I can destroy it, and I can create something new. I can do whatever I want. I can do door-to-door sales. And I never realized to me like, hey, I could do sales. And up to that point, I was like, I just want to be a pediatrician. I want to go, maybe I want to be an accountant. I want to be like one of these specialists or something, But then I realized like maybe I could do sales. Never occurred to me. I never realized. Anyway, wish I would have found it so much sooner as far as leadership and entrepreneurship and sales and marketing. Wish I would have found marketing way sooner. I wish I would have learned marketing first. But anyway, so when I was in sales, I found out like you don't look for opportunity. Like if you try and find opportunity and you try and look for success, you're trying to find success, like it's going to be really hard to find because everyone else is doing their own thing, right? But what you need to do is you need to recognize it and embrace it right where you are. Like you can have success and you can have opportunities and you can have the ability to create something new based on where you are currently. And I know you may feel like you're stuck and you may feel like the world is out to get you and it may feel like there's so much negativity out there. But guess what? Like you have the opportunity to have an opportunity. All you have to do is start building up your awareness. And so I love that quote. Don't look for opportunity in the distance, but recognize it, embrace it right where you are. And I've talked about this before, but a lot of my clients that I work with, because I work with small business owners, helping them improve and scale their business through sales and marketing and mindset. And a lot of marketers and a lot of entrepreneurs, they're going down this road and they start looking around, they start seeing like, oh, maybe I'll go down and start doing Amazon, or oh, maybe I'll go do multi-level marketing, or maybe I'll go and do this thing. And all of those things are great things. Don't get me wrong. You can go and be successful a million different ways and make $1 million in a million different ways. But they look at it and they're like, okay, I'm going to go do this thing. And they start going down that path. And then guess what happens? They start looking around again. They start looking around like, you know what? I am going to look over there. And the reason why they start looking around is they start doubting. They start have fear. They start have doubt. They stop having the faith and the optimism that got them started in the first place, right? So they go down this path, and it's really interesting. The reason why they stop having so much faith and determination is because all these other people see them going down this path, and they start mocking them, they start making fun of them, and they start saying, oh, I can't believe you do multi-level marketing, or I can't believe that you are a real estate agent. It's so hard. I can't believe you do Amazon, or I can't believe you do this, or I can't. And they start mocking them, number one. And then number two, because Facebook and Google and all of these, mostly Facebook and Google, right? But all of these places, they have this little pixel and they start tracking you, and they know like, oh, this person's interested in this new genre, right? They're starting to go down this path of real estate. All of the, like, you're on Facebook. Facebook now knows, oh, you're in real estate now, like you're going on this new adventure, and they start marketing towards you to either, number one, to go and change your ways. And all these marketers, they're like, oh, real estate is dead. Oh, Airbnb is dead. And all of these genres, they're like, oh, it's dead. You need to come and do what I'm doing. And they say, hey, you know what? Don't do real estate. Come do multi-level marketing. This is all examples, right? You start going down multi-level marketing, and then you'll start seeing ads for multi-level marketing is dead. Don't do it. You need to come do it this way. And then you start doing it that way. And then guess what happens? You start getting ads saying, oh, don't do it that way. You need to come do it this way. And next thing you know, you're just jumping around. And you're always looking for opportunity in the distance, as Napoleon Hill says. Don't look for opportunity in the distance, but recognize it, embrace it right where you are. You can create a reality. You can create new success. You can create your success right where you are. But the key is to have your focus, right? So build your awareness. And then number two is have your attention and your focus on what you're doing. And put the blinders on, guys, because the world's out there to try and sell you something, right? I've been in sales. I'm in marketing. And the people are out there to try and sell you. And it's so important that you have a determined focus on where you want to go and have your own vision. And you use that vision as a way to filter people out. Another quote, and this comes from the guy on Shark Tank, Robert Herjavec, I believe. He says, "Don't mistake my kindness for weakness." And I'm sure tons of other people have said this as well. It's really interesting. I get so many people that reach out to me on Facebook, on Instagram, mostly on Facebook, because I post a lot on Facebook. But there's so many people, they reach out to me and they're rude to me. And I try to be kind to them, but they try and take advantage of me. And I was like, whoa, slow down, man. Okay? You cannot mistake me being kind to you as a weakness, and that you're going to just take advantage of me. Because kindness is so important, and I include in kindness like being ethical, being moral, doing what's right for the long term. Don't mistake that for being weak. Like, I get so frustrated when I see sales reps, right? So there's two mindsets, I believe. There's sales reps and there are entrepreneurial-minded people. And for the longest time, I thought I wanted to help sales reps. And if you look back like a year ago, I'm seeing these memories on my Facebook right now. If you look back about a year ago, I was like, oh, Sales Creation Academy, you need to go and do sales. And I started getting involved in this life of sales and started teaching sales reps how to sell more. And I realized that sales, being a sales rep is good, right? It's like getting started, right? It's like everyone needs to be in sales in order to negotiate and get the best deals and to communicate, right? So that's like the bottom line. The next level up from that is being an entrepreneur and being a leader and being a change maker and being someone that actually looks at a broader vision of life. Sales reps, they look at this small little perspective of like, I just need to get my commission. If I don't get my commission, it's gonna freeze up, right? And I'm in sales, and I totally get that. But you can be in sales, and you can also have an entrepreneurial mindset. And so, a lot of times, sales reps will be unethical just to make up some commission, to make some money, when in the long run, like, they could be kind, they could be ethical, and they could be entrepreneurial and have a greater impact and greater impact in the world. But I feel like so many people get distracted by the fact like, oh, if I don't get my prestige and look so important right now in this moment, I'm going to look weak, and I'm just going to go until I can make the thing that I want happen and get my short-term commission. But in reality, you want to get the long-term commissions. And that kind of goes together there. It kind of goes more with what I am calling the hierarchy of the marketplace. I learned this from, I'm going to butcher his name, Eben Pagan, great guy. He's been around in the industry for quite a while, but he has this hierarchy. He doesn't call it the hierarchy of marketplace. This is what I call it. I call it the hierarchy of the marketplace. Like, how do you go out into the marketplace and get paid, right? Like, you're listening to this because you want to make more money, right? How do you go out into the marketplace and get paid and make more money? There's three ways to do it. There's the hierarchy. There's three ways to do it. First way is you just go out there and you work for it, right? And we get in the mindset of employees, and we think, oh, if I just go out and work, I'm going to get paid. Doesn't matter what I do. As long as I work for 10 hours or 8 hours and I punch the clock and then I unpunch the clock, I'm going to get paid. I'm going to get paid my $10 an hour, $15 an hour. You guys realize I work a day job because I'm not completely financially free yet. I'm not completely an entrepreneur, self-employed yet. That's my goal by the end of the year, right? So I make $10 an hour as my base. That's my base. I would not be able to survive off of $10 an hour. No way. But that's my base, and then I get commissions and I get bonuses on top of that, right? But that's like the base of everything, right? is you work for something and you get paid. That's like an employee mindset. Okay? Then the next level up there is you work, but you are based off of results, which is like the sales rep, right? Like you work and you're an employee. You go out and you're based off of results. You get paid off of the results that you bring. That's awesome, right? Because you can go out and someone that works for 10 hours or 8 hours and someone else that works for 8 hours, they don't do the same amount of work. So do you think they should get the same amount of pay? No, right? This person that works and only produces 2 things of result, they should only get paid for 2 things. And then, of course, they get a base or whatever, right? This person, they produce 10. They should get paid off of those 10 things, right? They should be paid off of the result and the things that they bring in. So it's like employee, then you get your sales rep, and the top layer, the highest level of the marketplace, the highest level of this hierarchy of the marketplace is value. And again, like short term, middle term, and long term, like these are the 3 parts of the marketplace. So long term, you want to look long term, and you see, oh, I can get paid off of the value that I bring. And this is going to be more of the entrepreneurial mindset, because this is the broader scope. This is the greater vision. I was just talking with my wife. It's really interesting how you can motivate someone based off of the incentives that you bring that person. So like sales reps, right? Their whole motivation, their incentive is to get results. And so they produce results. Now they can swing or fix the numbers or kind of fudge the numbers a little bit to make those make the results look good. But how much value do they actually bring? Right? Long-term value. As an entrepreneur, you're not focused on just day one value. You're focused on lifetime value of a customer. You're focused on how long, like the acquisition cost and the lifetime value of a customer. What does that mean? It means like if a customer pays you 10 times and they pay you $10 10 times and then they never buy from you again, that lifetime value of that customer is $100. And you can kind of make some averages and stuff. And so you can realize, hey, if I get $100 from every customer on average, I need 1,000 customers to make $10,000 or whatever, right? Anyway, you can start predicting more by if you have the lifetime value of a customer. And so for a couple of things off this, me being in sales and starting to get into my own companies, I'm starting up. I have a couple of businesses that I'm running, and we're actually hiring out some sales reps. I want to make sure that these sales reps are being compensated on the highest level of the marketplace, the hierarchy of the marketplace. And that is based off of value. That means long term. But they also need to be paid off of results because I want them to work hard. So they get paid twice. They get paid multiple times. So they get paid on the front end and they get paid on the back end. And I believe every sales rep should have that kind of incentive in place to some point. You sell something, you get results for it. But you also will get paid on that on the long term based on if that person sticks around. Maybe you can call them back and you can get them to buy more stuff. Like if you can increase the lifetime value of that customer, you get paid for that, right? Like you need to start thinking like an entrepreneur. And that's one of my biggest pet peeves is when sales reps don't think like entrepreneurs. And I know it's a high expectation to have, but sales reps need, for this economy and businesses to stay afloat, sales reps need to, and people in general, need to start thinking like entrepreneurs. They need to start thinking lifetime value. Okay, another quote here. Climb the mountain so you can see the world, not so the world can see you. this is kind of going back to that same topic here, right? Is you as an entrepreneur, like I used to think of myself as a sales rep. I was like, man, I'm in sales. I'm a hot shot. And I remember I used to wear the little hat, and I used to just I feel like people in sales, they have to have like this cocky vibe, or an overconfident vibe. Like think of Grant Cardone, like awesome man. He's helped me out amazingly. But like you see that persona that he puts off of just like, hey guys, I'm the best thing ever here. This hit sliced bread. I'm a man. Like he does that because that's the type of people he wants to attract, because those are the people that are in sales, right? Anyway, so I feel like more people need to start creating their own reality and start climbing mountains, so that way they can have like their own reality, rather than just to be like, I went and did this thing, and so now you need to look at me and think I am awesome. It's all about that mindset. Changing the mindset that you have from the introspective to being extrospective. Is that even a word? Internal and external is probably a much better way to put it. And I feel like this podcast is kind of having this theme of looking outside of yourself, looking outside of your own little bubble that you live in, and start thinking about like how you actually treat other people, your choices, how they impact the world. And it's so important to have that perspective, and increasing your awareness from yourself to actually other people in the world. Another quote here is, whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. Really interesting. I had someone comment on this, is they're like, this quote isn't true. It might make you feel good, but it's not true. You can't just make any desire come true by thinking. It's basically some form of law of attraction, which is completely bunk. And I love this guy. He always throws controversial things on my comments and my posts. And it makes you think, right? But a lot of times I feel like people in general, they don't think. And that's the quote here, is whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. So like in his perspective, it's like, I don't believe that the law of attraction works, so therefore it doesn't. And it's totally bunk, because that's all the articles that I read are the ones that talk about how the law of attraction is debunked. But then you have the other people that are like, the law of attraction is the only thing that ever works in this life. And that's because they only read the articles about the law of attraction. Now, I'm not telling you what to believe and what not to believe, because I believe that what you are able to see in your perspective, with your perception, your perspective, you are creating your own reality with the knowledge and resources that you have currently. And so for me to tell you, hey, like there's this other reality over here, and your reality is not true because I have my own reality over here, I have my own vision, I don't think that's right. But there are certain laws that we can help each other learn. I'm going down a rabbit hole with this one, but I do believe in this quote that whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. Because your attitude is so important in everything that you do. I see it every day with my own attitude in sales. Like if I have a good attitude and I think, hey, today's going to be a good day, and I actually believe that it's going to be good, I start focusing on the good, I do much better. That's just a fact that I've seen in my life. If I start focusing on all the negativity, and I have people telling me like, oh, these leads suck, and this does this, and that manager this, and whatever not, then I start doing poorly, right? And I start thinking, maybe I shouldn't be here, maybe I shouldn't do this, and you're right. You're right. Like, you do not realize how much control you have over your life just by the way where you put your attention and how much awareness that you have of life. The goal, again, is to have as much awareness as possible, and then put your attention on what you want. there was one other thing I wanted to point out about that. Oh yeah, with the law of attraction, I do believe in the law of attraction. I don't believe that like if I just sit here and do nothing, that something will come to me. It's impossible to do nothing. But I believe that there is this thing in your brain called the reticular activating system, and it actually tells your body what is important. And if you can train your body, train the reticular activating system to understand what is important, you actually will build your awareness to be able to see what is important and what's not. Speaking of this, I wanted to throw this in real quick. I should have done this at the beginning. We are launching on February 1st. We are launching our Goal Creation Academy, where I do a crazy deep dive into every part of the creation formula. Okay, creation formula is this: build your awareness and harness your attention. Number 2, visualize the future. How to visualize. Number 3, how to take proper amounts of action. Number 4 is create and destroy. When you do those 4 things, those 4 steps again and again and again, literally you can create anything, every single goal that you want in your life. Now, cool thing is, I have come up with literally 10 to 20 different ways that you can build your awareness. And I'll deep dive in them and show you how you can actually apply them to your goals. Now I'm opening up this academy. It's called Goal Creation Academy. You can go and enroll right now before February 1st, goalcreationacademy.com. That's goalcreationacademy.com. Go and enroll right now. And I'll put a link in the description of this podcast so you can enroll at early bird pricing. Okay. It will be available after February 1st. You will have to pay the higher price. I'm determining the price right now. But right now the price is only $97. Okay. For all those people that are listening after the fact, I apologize. You just didn't listen to this sooner. Anyway, goalcreationacademy.com. Where was I? I just wanted to slip that in there, guys. Yes, building your awareness to the reticular activating system, planning and focusing on that to help you focus on what is actually important. Like I use this example all the time. I wanted my company, I was in an MLM, and they were going to pay for me to have a car. And I was like, I want this car. And I went and I looked at all the pictures of this vehicle. It was a Jeep, green Jeep, raised kit, 6 inches off the ground, big tires, neon green. I loved it. I was like, look at these pictures. It looks so nice. Anyway, 2 months went by. I got the Jeep. Now, I'd never seen that Jeep anywhere before. I drove off the lot, started seeing the Jeep everywhere. Not only was I seeing the Jeep everywhere, I was starting to see that color everywhere. I started seeing Jeeps everywhere in general, and green Jeeps. I was like, no one was buying green Jeeps until I bought a green Jeep. What up, people? Here's the reality, is they were always there. I just was filtering them out. Okay, and I'll end with this, guys. I am not a product of my circumstances. I am a product of my decisions. I think that's a great place to end here by Stephen Covey. You are not a product of where you are now. Yes, you are a product of your environment based off of what you've done, but you are where you are because of the decisions that you have made up to this point. And just accept that fact. What you can do right now, though, is you can say, hey, I'm going to make a decision. I'm going to make a decision that I am not going to be a product of my circumstances or what happens. I am a product of my decisions, and my decisions determine my destiny. That's Thomas S. Monson quote right there. Your decisions will determine your destiny. So start making better decisions starting today. And go and get enrolled in goalcreationacademy.com. That's goalcreationacademy.com. I look forward to seeing you guys in there. We start February 1st on those modules, 4 modules on the creation formula. You guys are awesome. Now be great and go out and create your freedom.